Hey guys, Bonehead here again, bringing you another Star Wars The Old Republic build. This one is another Sith Sorcerer build. I already did my fun build of the Sith Sorcerer, which uses a bit of everything, so it's good for PvE, running around, just being able to have a bit of fun doing everything, and focusing a lot on AoE attacks and things like that. So if you want to look at that, go to the other video. This one here, Madness, is the build for this one. Basically, I call this one the arsehole spec. It's another good one that I've been playing with, where you're basically concentrating on control and damage over time. A lot of guys do the Thundering Blast build and focusing on the lightning tree, but I figure everyone's doing that, so let's do something different. And this one's pretty good, especially if it's in a PvP match and things, and you go and help a friend out who's already fighting someone. This can be a very effective way to do it. So let's do the build. Okay, so I'll start in the Madness because that's where it's at. 3 points into Calcify. This one basically increases the damage of some of your main attacks in the build. Will of the Sith, 2 points into that, just increases your willpower, so you're doing more damage. You want to get 2 points in Oppressing Force, lowers the cooldown of Electrocute, so Electrocute's the first, being the arsehole spec that it is. It's all about control and stunning the enemy and everything, and Electrocute is one of your main things for that. So having 10 seconds lower cooldown on that is very good. Also, the Whirlwind, affecting up to 2 additional things, that doesn't really come into it very much. I mean, if it happens, it's always good, but it's mainly that Electrocute that we want to get, so we can cast that as often as we want. Parasitism, very good thing for this build. I don't think it works though with the Force Lightning, because it's not, like, even though it says periodic damage, I haven't seen it working with Force Lightning, but it still works with Affliction and things like that. So very, very good for giving you health back when you're attacking. And then we want to go 2 points into Disintegration. Increases crit chance of Force Lightning and Lightning Strike, which are 2 of the main abilities. Go ahead and pick up Death Field. Death Field is always good for in AoE. It gives you health back, hits up to 3 targets, does good damage. It's instant, even though it's called Death Field, it is an instant attack, so it's just bang, hits them, and you get health. So, very good one. Sith Efficiency. This one's good for the Force Lightning and your Crushing Darkness, reducing the pushback so you can't get interrupted when you're doing it. And also, whenever you use your Force Lightning, you actually recover 1% of your force for each tick. So, as Force Lightning's doing damage, you actually regenerate more mana, I suppose, than you actually use. So, very good. Madness, of course. Any Madness build will go Madness, I'm assuming. So, Force Lightning no longer has cooldown. Really good, because being a channeled attack, if you end up having to move out of the way of something, you can just cast it straight away again and keep dealing out the damage. Wrath, always good. Wrath works very good in this build. When your Force Lightning deals damage, you have a 30% chance to gain Wrath. So it's if you do the full channel, that's a very high, so nearly 100% chance of getting your Lightning Strike or Crushing Darkness to activate instantly and deal 20% more damage. So Lightning Strike and Crushing Darkness, you can see one of these ones down here. Lightning Strike gets the extra crit chance and everything there with the Force Lightning, and yeah, Crushing Darkness, it's a hit at the start and then a damage over time, and the damage over time from that can activate the Parasitism to give you health back. So that works very well. Next thing you want to get is 2 into Haunted Dreams. This one here lowers the activation time of Whirlwind. In addition, When your whirlwind breaks from taking damage, the target is stunned for 2 seconds. So in this build here, the whirlwind means you can cast a whirlwind instantly, which launches them in the air. You can reposition to wherever you've got to be, and then, or you can wait for a friend to come, and then you can start attacking again. And when they get knocked out of whirlwind, they're still stunned for 2 seconds. And so teaming up with the other stuns in this build, that whirlwind is something you want to be launching whenever you can, just to keep them out of the fight, sort of thing. So now I need one more point here, so I'm just going to throw one into Corrupted Flesh. Reduce the damage taken from all periodic effects. You can take that, or you can take a point in Sith Defiance to get damage, less damage taken. But I'll just click on there for that one. Pick up Deathmark. Deathmark basically means whenever you do a death field on them, they actually take more damage from your next periodic attacks, which will be your Crushing Darkness and your Affliction and everything like that. So very good for whenever if you can throw a death field down, you'll get health from them and trigger them so they take more damage from your attacks. Always good. Force Horrors, increased damage dealt by Affliction. Obviously Affliction is something you're going to be throwing down whenever you can to try and get that parasitism off. And 2 points now. Lingering Nightmares. Increase the duration of Crushing Darkness. So yeah, Crushing Darkness, you can see you've got your Force Lightning, which will trigger, so Crushing Darkness or Lightning Strike can be instant cast, which is very, very good with the extra damage. So you want to be using that, whenever the Wrath goes, then you can throw out your Crushing Darkness or your Lightning Strike. So you always want to have your Crushing Darkness as good as possible. Now 3 points here into Creeping Death. Increases the crit damage of Death Field and your periodic damaging abilities. So Crushing Darkness, Affliction, whenever they crit, they get 30% extra damage on top again, and when they crit, you get health back. So all very good for you want to have them critting as much as possible. Increase the amount of healing generated by Death Field and Parasitism. That's an obvious one. So yeah, your Parasitism here, instead of doing 1% health, we'll be doing 2% health for every tick of the stuff that does it. So very good. Creeping Terror, obviously the top ability for Madness, and another awesome ability. Paralyzes the target in fear, immobilizing it for 2 seconds and dealing damage over time, which also triggers your healing. So that's the main tree sorted out. So we've got 10 points left. First thing to go and pick up is jump in the Corruption tree, get all 3 points onto Seeping Darkness. That just increases your crit chance, so all your things that are based on crit will have a better chance of going. And then throw into the Lightning tree here. You want 3 points on Electric Induction. That'll get you all your abilities cost less force. And then you want to get 2 points in Reserves to boost your force power by 100, so you can cast more stuff before you run out. Now, there's 3 choices here that you could really put the last points into. Depending on what you like. Exsanguinate would make your Affliction last 6 seconds longer. I don't find you really need that, because with all your other dots and everything on there as well, you're not really worried about Affliction having to last a full duration. Lightning Barrier, obviously your static barrier is a bubble that you put around yourself, and if you're casting it on yourself and you're getting hurt too much, you can always put 2 points into that to give it 20% more life, that shield. But Subversion, I think, is the best one for the build. Reduces the pushback suffered while activating Lightning Strike, Chain Lightning and Thundering Blast. Now, you don't use a lot of the other ones, but the Lightning Strike That's effectively stops you from being interrupted when you're trying to cast it. Which doesn't really matter if Wrath goes off, because your Lightning Strike will be instant cast. But then Lightning Strike has a 100% chance to increase your force regeneration rate by 10% for 10 seconds and stacks up to 3 times. So more mana back, basically. Working with the Sith efficiency, which makes your Force Lightning do mana. So if you find yourself out of Force and you've got Subversion and the Sith efficiency, you can basically use your Force Lightning when it procs to bring the Wrath for Lightning Strike. You can instant cast Lightning Strike, which will give you faster Force regen again, and then you can rinse and repeat, and that'll get you plenty of Force back really quickly. Now that's all the points all the way through all the trees, and so yeah, as you can see, basically your stun abilities, your electrocute, your whirlwind, which then breaks and stuns, and then creeping terror. So the creeping terror immobilized for 2 seconds. So the three of them together, they all will stun the enemy really well. And then you go to all of your affliction, crushing darkness, and everything to get your health regen out of it all. Force lightning whenever you want, and after the force lightning, you've got the lightning strike and crushing darkness to throw up after. And I hope you like the build. I hope you try it out, and put any comments in. Let me know how you went, and Bonehead out.